In the pantheon of America's founding fathers, there are many great men who helped shape our nation's history, but few have had the impact of Alexander Hamilton. Born in the Caribbean, Hamilton's story is one of struggle, perseverance, and triumph. Alexander Hamilton was born in 1755 on the island of Nevis in the Caribbean. His parents were not wealthy, and his father abandoned the family when he was young. Despite these obstacles, Hamilton was a bright and ambitious young man who was determined to make something of himself. Hamilton's mother recognized his potential and encouraged his education, but she died when he was just 13 years old. Hamilton was left to fend for himself, but he refused to let his circumstance define him. Hamilton worked hard and eventually found a job as a clerk in a shipping company. It was there he caught the attention of local businessmen who saw his potential and paid for him to travel to America to further his education. Hamilton arrived in America in 1772 and attended King's College, now Columbia University, in New York City. It was there that he became involved in the revolutionary movement that was sweeping the colonies. Hamilton's passion for liberty and independence led him to become an active member of the Sons of Liberty, a group of patriots who were pushing for the colonies to break free from British rule. Hamilton's military prowess and leadership abilities caught the attention of General George Washington, who appointed him as an aide-de-camp during the Revolutionary War. Hamilton served with distinction and helped to turn the tide of the war in America's favor. Hamilton met his wife Elizabeth Schuyler in 1780 during the American Revolution. At the time, Hamilton was a young officer in the Continental Army when he was introduced to Elizabeth by her father, General Philip Schuyler. Hamilton was immediately smitten with Elizabeth, and they began courting. Despite initial concerns from Elizabeth's family about Hamilton's background and lack of wealth, the couple eventually married in December of that year and went on to have 8 children together. After the war, Hamilton became involved in politics and played a key role in drafting the United States Constitution. He was a vocal advocate for a strong and central government and helped to lay the groundwork for the country we know today. Hamilton was instrumental in establishing the country's financial system. His vision and policies transformed the fledgling nation into a modern economic powerhouse. Hamilton believed that a strong financial system was crucial to the country's success. He understood that banks played a vital role in financing economic growth and promoting commerce. Hamilton's first major contribution to banking was the creation of the Bank of the United States in 1791. The bank was modeled after the Bank of England and was designed to provide a stable currency, issue loans, and promote economic development. Hamilton's understanding of banking was rooted in his childhood experiences in the Caribbean. He was born out of wedlock and grew up in poverty. As a young man, he worked as a clerk for a local merchant and learned about the importance of credit and finance in the global economy. Hamilton's ideas about banking and finance were ahead of their time. He recognized the importance of credit and introduced the concept of government-backed securities. He also championed the idea of a central bank and laid the foundation for the modern banking system. Hamilton's legacy lives on in the financial institutions and markets that dominate the world today. His vision and policies paved the way for the growth of capitalism and the creation of wealth on an unprecedented scale. Hamilton's political career was not without controversy, however. In the summer of 1791, Hamilton's personal life came under scrutiny when he was accused of engaging in an extramarital affair with Maria Reynolds. Maria Reynolds was married to James Reynolds, a notorious swindler who had been implicated in a scheme to defraud the government. In order to avoid prosecution, James Reynolds approached Hamilton and informed him that he knew of a plot to attack the secretary's character. Reynolds then introduced Hamilton to his wife, Maria, and the two began a months-long affair. However, the affair came to an end when Maria's husband demanded money from Hamilton in exchange for keeping the affair a secret. Hamilton paid James Reynolds thousands of dollars, but the blackmail continued. Eventually, Hamilton became fed up with the extortion and went public with the affair in a document called the Reynolds Pamphlet. In this pamphlet, Hamilton confessed to the affair and released a series of letters between himself and Maria Reynolds as evidence. The Reynolds pamphlet caused a huge scandal and damaged Hamilton's reputation. Many of his political opponents used the scandal as an opportunity to attack Hamilton and question his judgments. However, Hamilton's decision to go public with the affair was seen by many as a bold move that demonstrated his honesty and transparency. He was involved in several duels, including one that ultimately led to his untimely death. In 1804, Hamilton faced off against his political rival, Aaron Burr, in a duel that ended with Hamilton's death. Despite his tragic end, Hamilton's legacy lives on today as one of America's most influential and visionary leaders.